Have you ever tried to make homemade Qatayef? Today I'm going to show you how to make Qatayef dough from scratch and also 2 different ideas on how to fill them. And since this Ramadan we are being quarantined and can't really meet with people, I'm going to show you how to make a small batch of Qatayef so you don't have too much left over. If you are excited about this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to be notified every time I post a new video. If you haven't heard of Qatayef before, they are a traditional Middle Eastern dessert that is typically eaten during the month of Ramadan. They are very similar to pancakes, but they're just cooked on one side and traditionally filled with nuts, deep fried and covered in sugar syrup. So delicious. Today I'm going to show you the whole process of how to make them, as well as some new ideas of how to stuff them. And yeah, let's get cooking. For the dough part of this recipe, it's really easy and straightforward. All you need is some all-purpose flour, some sugar, dried milk, yeast, baking powder and some salt, as well as some warm water. All you're gonna do is just whisk your dry ingredients together and then add half the amount of your water first, without splashing everywhere if possible. And oops, try not to make a mess like I am. Whisk it really well until there are no lumps remaining. And there you go. The consistency should be like the consistency of classic pancakes. A little bit runny, and this is perfect. So I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap and I will allow it to rest for 45 minutes to 1 hour until it's slightly foamy and risen a little bit, and then we'll proceed with the next step. So after 45 minutes, this is what it looks like. You can see it's foamy and bubbly. So we're going to just stir this and start cooking our Qatayef pancakes. First you want to just drop a little bit of oil in your pan. You want to just lightly grease your pan and wipe it with a paper towel. And we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of dough and drop them next to the other. You want to let the pancakes cook until the top is all set. You don't want to see any loose liquid batter on the top, and do not flip it over. So as you see, my Qatayef are pretty much done. Once they are cooked, you want to lay them on a single layer on a silicone mat or parchment paper. And yeah, as you can see, they are nice and golden brown from the bottom and set from the top. This is exactly what you're looking for. Now I'm gonna start preparing the sugar syrup mixture. All I've done is I combined some sugar, water and a squeeze of lemon juice into this saucepan. You're going to cook this mixture on a medium heat until the sugar dissolves and it starts to boil. Once it comes to a boil, you want to reduce the heat to low heat and let it cook for 10 minutes exactly. You need to set a timer for this. If it cooks for longer, it will turn into candy. So set your timer for 10 minutes and then take it off the heat and allow it to cool to room temperature. Now it's time to fill the Qatayef. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it. The first is a traditional way of stuffing them with a mixture of nuts and then deep frying them and coating them in sugar syrup. And the second way is just spooning some Nutella or lotus spread in the middle and eating them as it is. So for the first part, you're going to need a mixture of any nuts you like. I really like the combo of almonds and walnuts with some raisins. So that's what I'm going to do today. So basically you just take one of your qatayef with the bubble side up, and you fill it with a little bit of your filling in the center. Make sure not to overfill it, as it may crack. And flip it and pinch from the bottom all the way up. And this is what it looks like, all the way sealed from the top. And I'm gonna continue to stuff mine. And these are the filled qatayef, and we're gonna go deep fry them now. So now to fry our qatayef, we're going to heat up some oil, and you want to make sure it's really nice and hot, and we're just gonna drop them one by one. Yes, when you see the oil bubbling up, that means that it's ready. We're going to fry them for between 2 to 4 minutes. It depends on how crispy you want them to be, or if you like them soft. If you want them on the soft side, then 2 minutes per side. If you want them crispy, then I recommend 4 minutes per side. So now all my qatayef are fried, and I put them on a paper-lined plate to soak up all the excess oil. And while they are still hot, we're going to dip them in the sugar syrup. You want to make sure that they are really well coated from all sides in the sugar syrup, and then try to shake off the excess syrup from them. So now onto the second version of qatayef, the more modern version. We're going to fill them with Nutella and peanut butter. You can use lotus spread or any kind of spread you like. Basically, you're going to take 1 tablespoon of your choice of spread, and then placing it on one half of the qatayef, and then closing it up from the other half, the empty half. You're going to close it up halfway, so you leave one half exposed with the filling showing from the outside. And here they are, our delicious Nutella and peanut butter stuffed qatayef. They are ready to be enjoyed right away. I'm curious to know, what is your favorite way of eating qatayef and your favorite filling? Leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to recreate my favorite suggestion. You can very easily double, even quadruple this recipe and store the remaining qatayef dough either raw or filled in the freezer for later use. You will find the exact recipe and measurements on my website, which I will link down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like more Ramadan recipes, you can check out my videos below, Ramadan themed cake or my granola recipe. And please subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. And I will see you next week for a new recipe. See you soon. Bye.